In the previous video, I explained how to set up a budget within the UI in Netsuite. In this video, I will show you how to import a budget from Excel. Also how to download the budget template and then import it. So as you can see, this is the result of actually having a budget imported already. To import a budget, you go to Transactions, Financial, Set up Budgets, and then you click on Import. Once you click on Import, you will notice there that you can select your encoding, and then there you can select your file. But you haven't started or you haven't created your budget template yet. So what you want to do is click on that budget template file. And this is NetSuite's template in order to import a budget. So how does this template look like? Your category, your job item, department, and then all your periods will follow here at the end. So if you haven't seen my previous video explaining each one of these filters here at the top, starting with this, please go to my previous video and have a look. So you will notice then there's your accounting book if that is applicable. If not, you can simply just delete the column. You will also see your subsidiary. If you have a one world account, you can then select your subsidiary, and then you will notice that your amounts will follow here, and this is the what you are budgeting for that account for that period, meaning January, February, and so forth. And for those with a 13th period in your account, you will also notice that you might download your template and you will see that there is actually 24 periods. What you can do in that case, just delete the additional periods. So I'll start off by putting in my year, the category that I'm budgeting against. So as I've explained in the previous video, this can be, for example, your revision, and you need to type it like for like. This is case sensitive. So as it looks in NetSuite, that's how you should put it in here. Then I'm not going to be budgeting by account, not by item, neither by class, not by department, but I'll, for example, show you how to budget by location and class, for example, which will be exact same criteria if you want to do it for these other columns. Then very important is my account that I am budgeting for, and then over here lastly obviously my subsidiary, and there you can see that's the amounts that I'm budgeting for those periods. So let's see how that looks in NetSuite. Let's say I want to review this in NetSuite. I will then go to Setup Budgets, which is under Transactions, Financial, Setup Budgets, and that's where I will see how it looks in the UI, and I can use this to populate my template. So for example here, that's where I got my year from. There's my category, that's where I got my category from, and then here's my accounts and so forth. Now in my case, what I've done, I'm using the internal ID. Now if this doesn't make sense to you how I got these internal IDs, please see the link in the video that I will pop up now, and then you can just see how you enable internal IDs for your different records. So for example, I'm budgeting by account. So if I go to my classes, if I'm going to my classes, you will notice that my classes is showing my internal ID over there. I use this because it's not case sensitive, and usually you don't get as much errors when you're importing. So that's the reason for me using internal IDs, and it's the primary key of that record. Then from my chart of accounts, I got my numbers, but very important, I got my internal IDs here, and I'm actually using my internal IDs. So I'm going to be budgeting for my sales account, my purchasing account, and then for advertising. So if we look at my template, that's the 3 hour in here under account. So sales, purchases, sales purchases, and then my advertising over there. And then the same applies. I took the internal ID for the location and for the class. Okay, so my template is now completed. Now I can actually go ahead and actually import my template. So let's head over to NetSuite. So in NetSuite, I want to now import my budget. So I'll go to Transactions, Financial, Setup Budgets, and then Import. Now I've completed my template, so all I need to do is get my template. I click on that, and you can now see there's my template, and I can just go next. So nice thing over here, Netsuite is now going to map up everything for me already. So I don't really need to worry about anything else. My mapping is already done for me because I'm matching it one for one. Now, important thing over here, because I am using the internal ID and not the name of the account, you will notice when I click on this pencil icon over here, I need to indicate to the system that I'm referencing by the internal ID. So once you click on that pencil icon, choose reference type, you click on internal ID. Very important to do this. Okay, I've done that for account. My category, I'm using the name, so there's no need to change that. If I click on that, names, yes, that's what I need. My class, I'm doing that by internal ID, so I need to change that. I'm actually not doing item, so I can actually just delete that. Then location, I am using location, and remember I'm using internal ID, so I just need to change that to internal ID. Okay, and so forth. So I can see everything else should be fine. Let me just confirm for you. My subsidiary is also using the internal ID, so change that to internal ID. The rest should be fine. Remember, if you're using the name, none of this is needed, but you might run into error messages saying that it can't find your account because it's case sensitive. So remember, space, incorrect casing will all result in an error message. So internal IDs are usually the way to go. Okay, I'm going to import now and click run. Okay, so now we can see if that budget went through. Okay, you can then refresh. Well done. So the import was successful. Okay, now let's go to transactions. I go to financial, set up budgets, and then I can click on list to see it. But let's see how it looks on the screen if I actually go and check it out. So in my case, remember I budgeted by location, which was product, and I budgeted by my class was product, and my location was the main location. Perfect. So now you can see that's the parameters that I've pulled through. So what you can do, if you want to change this, you can do this in a UI, or you can just do an import again, change this, for example, to 5,000 per month, and then it will be updated. If you're finding value here at this point, please go ahead and like and subscribe and inform the world out there that you're getting value from this video. Okay, so now once you have done your budget, in order to actually view your budget, you can simply just type in at the top, budget versus actual. This will show you exactly what the link is to your budget versus actual report. So that's reports, budgets will be banking / budgeting, and then budget versus actual. That's where you will find this report. And this is the result of how budget versus actual report looks like. You'll see that it shows you your budgeted amount, your amount over budget, and then the percentage of your budget. This is very important numbers for expenditure to ensure that you are running on track. And you can, for example, see here that I have filing fees, I have legal fees, and you can, like, for example, see if you're over budget or not. If you found this video useful, please go ahead and like and subscribe, and please have a look at one of my other videos right here. Thank you.